So this is Precalculus, the functions quiz from version D of the quiz number 1. So here we're given f of x is 6x squared minus 3, and g of x is x plus 2. So we're asked in part A to find fg. Okay, so remember our operations with functions. This just means the function f times the function g. So this just means our function f times our function g. These are equivalent. And now we can just substitute in functions f and g in their places. So we have 6x squared minus 3 and x plus 2. And remember, when we're multiplying these, we're multiplying the whole things, not just like the 3 and the x. So we need to put parentheses around the function. And that means we are going to use distribution using a box method or FOIL or any other distribution method that we choose. And multiplying this out, we get 6x cubed plus 12x squared minus 3x minus 6. And these are all the terms combined that can be, and so this is our answer for f times g, or fg. Okay, part B was asking what's f of g of x. So remember, this is the composition of the functions f and g, and we look at this as f with the input being g of x. So we can replace g of x with the expression x plus 2 as it's defined, and then we know that function f is just taking in the input or the argument x plus 2. So anywhere we see x in our function, we're going to now replace it with x plus 2. So we have 6 on the outside times x, so we say x plus 2 squared minus 3. Okay? So x plus 2 squared is just x plus 2 times x plus 2. We can use the box method again or FOIL to distribute that and get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Don't forget the minus 3. We distribute the 6 across. We get 6x squared plus 24x plus 24. Again, don't forget the 3, the minus 3. So we combine like terms and we get 6x squared plus 24x plus 21. Okay? And this right here is our answer. And we are done with part B. Okay? So part C is asking us to find the inverse function of x. Remember, this is not the power of -1. It means the inverse function of f, right? The function f here, this -1 means the inverse function of our function f, which is defined right here. So how do we get this? Well, remember, we first take a look at f. We don't care about g in this problem. We're just looking at f. And we want to know how it was created. So remember, we start with y is equal to x, and we wrap our function. How do we do that? Well, our first step was we squared x. Then we multiplied that by 6. Then we take what's above and we subtract 3. Okay? So this was basically, we squared what's above, we multiplied by 6 what's above, and then we subtract 3. Okay, this is how our function was created. So to unwrap our function, or the inverse, is going to be doing these things in the opposite order, right? Because we want to undo everything we did. We start at the end and do the opposite. So we start with y is equal to x, and then what's the opposite of subtract? 3. Well, we want to just add 3 to whatever we had before. So x is now x plus 3. What's the opposite of multiply by 6? Well, we want to divide by 6. We look at what's before it and divide that by 6. Okay? What's the opposite of squared? Well, we know it's square root, so we look what's before it and square root that. So it's x plus 3 divided by 6, square root. Make sure the square root encloses the entire function. It's not just over the x, it's not just over the numerator, it's over the entire expression. So this right here is our inverse function. So remember, it's x plus 3 divided by 6 and then take the square root of that. Okay, so this is the answer for part C. Okay, so this ends number 1 on the pre-calculus functions quiz.